Hello, everyone. I'm Nazima, and welcome back to the third recording of NIOS. So, here we go. The second chapter of NIOS English, Grade 10, is How the Squirrel Got His Stripes. Today, in this video, I'm going to explain the story. It's the story of how the squirrel, it's talking about the Indian squirrel, the species of the Indian squirrel that has got his strips. Yes, so here there is. Okay, before we begin, let's ask you a question. Okay, have you heard any stories from your grandparents? So, have you heard stories from your grandparents when you were small, when you were young enough? It's a tradition, like generally, in a house, the mom, the grandma, and the grandparent sit around, okay, and tell stories. So, have you ever heard a story from your grandparent? Okay. And what kind of lessons do these stories usually teach you? Okay. So, you might have wondered that after telling the story, your grandma, your granny, or your grandpa might have told you that, oh, yeah, what have you learned from this? If you can remember the story of the tortoise and the hare, right? Yeah. What does it talk about? Slow and steady wins the race. Okay. So most of these animal stories, which are known as fables, you're right, end with a moral, right? Yes. Okay. So can you just recall any story which ended with a moral? Specifically, if it is a fable or an animal story. Mm-hmm. Great. Now, by the end of this video, this lesson, we are going to understand the main event, okay? The story behind this, how the squirrel got his strips. This is our main, a learning objective in this story, in this video. We are also going to learn critical analysis, a situation, and taking a decision. So it's like, whenever, like we come across many situations in our life, right? And while tackling those situations, sometimes we have to think critically, take decisions critically. Okay. So that's how this is also going to take you through a broader expect. Well, use reasoning to form an opinion. So, what does that mean? Yes, it means that when you have opinions, you have to support it with your reasons. So, as in the story, which is from the epic Ramayana, it talks about like when the old, okay, the stronger ones cannot go ahead and bully the younger ones. All right. It values every individual's contribution, however small. Yes, this makes a very important impact. However small your contribution is, it can be in any of the activity, it can be any activity in your house. If you are the smallest one in your house, imagine. Okay. And what happens is, according to your capacity, you might be just arranging the vessels, helping mama in the kitchen by arranging the vessels. You can't cook because you're not too old enough to cook, right? So you go ahead and help her. You help dada in keeping the iron clothes at the right place and all. So in your own capacity, you're helping, right? So that has to be appreciated. Exactly. Accept people and respect individual differences. So, what does that mean? That no matter whatever, okay, race we come from, whatever religion we come from, whether we are rich, whether we are poor, whether we are weak, whether we are strong, Okay, we have our individual differences, but keeping those aside, we are going to respect people. This is one and the foremost thing every human being has to bring into practice. And finally, we're also going to learn the moral and the cultural significance of this story, okay? How the squirrel got his s- strips. And also, as it is a story, it will revolve around the characters, the setting, and what exactly is the theme, okay? Yes, so let's go ahead and check it out the story. You all can see that there's a picture coming up on your screen, students. Mm-hmm. Can you identify? You're right. He's Lord Rama from the epic story Ramayana. Very good. And yeah, what can you see that? Mm-hmm. A small squirrel. He's kindling a small squirrel in his hand, right? So today, this is a traditional Indian folk tale which explains us how squirrels got their strips. So the story goes back into the into the like in the historical mythological story where Lord Rama is on his way to bring back Sita from Lanka. So we all know that there is another character, very powerful character, who plays a very important role in Ramayana, right? And he's none other than Ravana. Yes. So Ravana abducts Sita and he takes her to his own land, Lanka. Okay. Now, Lord Rama in this story, in this folk tale, is trying to build a bridge across the sea because there is there's no way, okay, where he could go there. All right, so with the help of the Vanaras, the monkeys, he's trying to build this bridge so that he can go and bring back Sita. Okay, and I'll stop this and I'll bring the text also in front of you. So give me a moment. Okay, here is your text. Okay, is it visible? Great. So this is your text, okay, where we understand that how the story goes on. All right. So I'll just quickly take you through the story. So in this story, Rama is asking his army, like, who is the army? The Vanaras, the monkeys, to build a bridge over the sea. And the work is going on. They are making a stone bridge, ideally, okay? And the monkeys pulled out the rocks and heavy stones from the mountains, okay? And they're carrying it to the sea, and at the same time there is a group of monkeys who are cutting them. It has to be properly made into shapes, and they're building the bridge. Well, it is a difficult task because but then as the capacity of the monkey is like they are picking up huge stones and bring it, okay. Thousands of monkeys are working day and night, okay. And Rama is very happy when he says, oh my goodness, look at these vanaras, these monkeys, they are working so hard. And that's all because they love him, they respect him, and that's how they want to show their love and respect, through helping him. That's what Rama thinks. And what does he see? One day he saw a small brown squirrel. So there was a small brown squirrel, and the small brown squirrel was picking tiny pebbles in his mouth all the way down the seashore and bring it over here. And the little squirrel can definitely not carry big stones, so it's trying to help in building the bridge in this tiny little pebbles, and carried it and is dropping it into the sea. Now, looking at that, there's a huge monkey, and a bit rude, that monkey picks him up with its tail and he throws him out. Basically, he should have not done that. And, the monkey carries, like, he picks him and say, hey, what are you doing? Okay. What are you doing? Hey, you little thing, shouted the monkey. You are in my way. So basically, he's so huge, no, and he's carrying a huge stone on his head. So he might have tumbled down if he says that I would have stepped back on you and I would have fallen down. What are you doing here? And the little squirrel looked up at the great monkey, looking up, okay, because he's so tiny, no? Yes, I'm sorry you nearly fell, brother monkey, he said in a small voice. But please always look where you are going. I'm helping Rama build the bridge and I want to work hard for him. So he says, hey, don't worry. I am also trying to help Rama the way you are trying to help. And hearing that, he laughs. The monkey says, what? What did you say that? You are so tiny, and with the small pebbles, are you think you're going to build a bridge? Ha ha ha! He gives a very hearty laugh. I've never heard such a funnier thing. And the other monkeys also start laughing at the squirrel, tiny, poor squirrel. The squirrel did not think this funny at all, and very adamant the squirrel is. He says, look, I can't carry mountains on rocks. God gave me only little strength, but I can carry pebbles. My heart cries out for Rama, and I'll do all I can for him. Okay, saying, hey, come on, nobody can stop me from doing my job and helping Rama. Okay, even if it is the tiniest thing or the least help that I can give. The monkey said, don't be foolish. Do you think you can help Rama? Do you think you can build a bridge with the pebbles? I have a big army. He has a big army. You go home. Don't come in our way. And the squirrel, poor thing, he says, please, please, monkey, I want to help. And he carries all the pebbles again. Now the monkeys are very furious. They get very angry. And one of the monkey, actually, whatever the monkey did, no, you should never do that. Picked up the squirrel by his tail and threw him away. Poor thing. Yeah, that's what we shouldn't do that, right? The squirrel crying out the name of Rama fell in his hands. Okay, so if you can see over here in the picture where the squirrel is landing into Lord Rama's, yes, so he landed over there. And what happened is this Lord Rama, when he comes to know about it, okay, he was very so impressed by the devotion, and he strokes the back of the squirrel. And when he was stroking, okay, in gratitude, it left some fingerprints, three fingerprints of white strips on the squirrel. And that's how from that day onwards they say that the squirrels are having those strips. That's how the squirrel got its strips. And then what happened? He said, hey, little one, your love touches my heart, he said. And he is gently, passing his fingers over the squirrel's back. And when he puts him down, there were three white strips on his back. These were the marks of Lord Rama's finger. And from then on, squirrel carries the three white strips on his back. So that's how the story in our NIOS chapter 2 ends up. Okay, so that's how it goes on, right? The story teaches, yeah, by the end, what are we learning from it? Mhm. It teaches no effort is too small when done with what? With devotion, with a whole heart, with selflessly, right? So the squirrel, in his own tiny capacity, is trying to help Rama in building the bridge. You're right. Now, students, across the whole chapter, there are certain difficult words. Okay, I have picked up those difficult words and the meanings so that it becomes easy for you to understand the content. The first word is dignity. Dignity, yeah, the word itself. It means the state or quality of being worth or honor or respect. So there's a sentence over there. You can read it out in your free time. Another word is emphasizes. It means giving special importance to something. Okay? When your teacher is asking you to read, she'll say, hey, come on, emphasize on your reading skill, your high tone, your low tone, the pronunciation, right? Yes. Another word is participating. It means to take part in any activity or event. Sometimes your teacher asks you, hey kids, are you participating in the annual sports day? Hmm? Pebbles. Yeah. So the dictionary meaning is small, smooth stones found on the beaches or rivers. They're tiny ones, and there is a scientific reason why they are smooth, why they are small. Okay. You can Google it out and check it out. The reason behind the stones which are near the beach and which are near the river, what makes them smoother and, like a polished one. All right. Few more words to continue. Strength. Repeat after me. Strength. Yes, it means the quality of being physically strong, the strength of it. He used all his strength to push the heavy cart. It was a heavy cart, so maybe the old man used all his strength. Foolish. A very easy, busy, lemon squeezy word, right? What does that mean? Lacking good sense or judgment. Sometimes mama says, hey, what foolish statement are you giving? Okay, do you want to go and swim during a storm? Contribution. Yes, contribution means your gift or payment to help fund or achieve something. What is your, how do you contribute? Okay, what do you give? Okay, it's not necessarily contribution is only in the form of monetary or gift or materialistic thing. It can also be in time. Okay, I contributed my ideas, I contributed my time, okay, in building this project. You say sometimes like that. Gently. Yeah, so even this word comes into the text where Lord Rama is gently, yeah, yeah, he's stroking the fur, the back of the squirrel. It means in a mild, kind, or soft manner. He helped the injured bird gently in his hand. And the last one is Mark. Here, Mark, it's not a name, okay? But then, yes, in most of the stories, you'll find Mark as a name also, okay? It comes as a noun. But here, it means a small area on a surface having a different color or shape. They'll say, oh, mom, look at here. I fell down last evening and I had got hurt on my cheek, and see the mark is still there. So it is still remaining that, okay, mark on the, so it's like little different, the darker part. Here, the sentence, the ink left a dark mark on the paper. Okay, it depends in which context you're using the word. Okay. Okay, so now let's come to what have we understood? Okay, so let's pause and think. Okay, so put on your thinking caps and try to figure out, why did Lord Rama appreciate the squirrel's help, even though it was small? It was a small help, right? Just tiny pebbles were brought. But why did Lord Rama appreciate it? You're right. Okay. No matter whether your difference, your strength difference, your weakness, you're strong, what matters is your devotion. What matters is your feeling, your idea behind the thought. Okay. The soulful thought that is there. What does the story teach us about teamwork? Does it talk about teamwork as well? Yes. If you see scientifically, when you're arranging the rocks, the bigger rocks to form the bridge, there might be some gaps in between. Can you just imagine that? And these tiny pebbles are going to serve like a binder. It's like holding those bigger rocks in between and giving it a lot big, stronger structure. Got it? So, yes, teamwork always wins. It's a success. Which qualities of law drama are highlighted in the story? Mm-hmm. Use some adjectives. Yes, you're right. Lord Rama is kind. He believes in gratitude. Yes, he is so humble that he is appreciating even the tiniest job that the squirrel is doing. Yeah, so even when I read out the story out for you, you might have heard that when Rama, when the squirrel lands in his hand, he's not happy. He is upset. He said, "No, you're not supposed to do like that. To the stronger should not behave like that with the weaker." Exactly. So we have answered all the three. Okay, there it comes. How beautiful the squirrel looks. That's before the, yeah, and see, the squirrel is trying to take blessing from Lord Rama. So, students, but what we have learned in this video, we have learned that we should not make fun of the weak and the small, and that love is more important than physical strength. Yes, over here you can see an animated monkey. The monkey is making fun of the squirrel, right? Okay, now it's time for you to answer it. So take out your classworks and write down these questions in your book and attempt it. Who was the main human character in the story? How did the squirrel help in building the bridge? You can answer the questions in complete sentences. Please take care of the punctuation marks. What marks did Lord Rama leave on the squirrel? Okay, you have to specifically write it down how many strips, and they were the white strips on his fur. And finally, what is the moral of the story? So, you are going to attempt all these four questions in your notebook, and that's how we come to the conclusion of the story that you have understood it. Now, there's something different which I've here along with the understanding of the lesson. What are your views on this picture and this poster? Just observe it. The poster, this picture speaks more than 1,000 words. No bullying, exactly. So this is like we are understanding on a broader prospect where the monkey was trying to bully the squirrels. Here we can see that even in our society, in our schools, we find both the ways. Sometimes the boys are bullying the girls, sometimes the girls are bullying the boys. It generally happens, which is a big no. No bullying, right? So what you can do is you can have a small debate. Okay, you can have a debate in your class or among your friends on this wonderful topic and share your views and your opinions. So that's all for today, students. This is the third video for your NIOS English grade 10 syllabus. This is going to be followed by the fourth video, which is related to the grammar topic and the writing skill topic. So till that, stay tuned. Meet you next time. Bye-bye.